Hi, welcome to Party Food Hero. I'm Aaron. Today we're going to be making a requested recipe. So when I did the smoked cream cheese, I did a spicy bacon jam on top. I did put the recipe on the Party Food Hero website. There have been a few people that actually asked me to do a video on the recipe. So I kind of tweaked the recipe, made it a little bit spicier than normal, which I like. But the nice thing about this recipe is you can tailor it to whatever your spiciness level is, whether it be way higher than mine or way lower. You can do it however you want, but it turns out it is absolutely delicious, super easy to make, and goes great with just a ton of different things. But here we go. Spicy bacon jam. Let's go check it out. All right, here are the ingredients you're going to need to make an amazingly delicious and spicy bacon jam. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna cut up your bacon. I like to cut it up into roughly inch wide slices. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this bacon and we're gonna put it into a pot, and then we are going to start heating it up. And it is important that you put it into a pot that is big enough to cook your bacon, and then you're gonna cook your onions in it. So one pot stop shop something, you'll see. All right, now once you have the bacon inside your large pot, you are going to turn the heat on and start cooking it. That way you are going to yield a much crispier bacon, which is essential for this recipe. So put your bacon in, then turn on the heat. Heat it up until it starts to look like this. All nice and foamy. So you're just going to be occasionally stirring it up into this point, but that's what you're looking for, a nice frothy top and crispy bacon, and you're good to go. Then you're going to take that bacon, you're going to strain it off, and you're just going to want to keep about a tablespoon of that bacon grease. And like I said, you're going to want to use that same pot to cook your onions in. Bacon. All right, you're going to take your onions, and I'm no professional onion cutter, so you don't have to. If you're better at this than I am, then do it your way. But all I'm trying to do is keep these around, I'd say maybe like 1/4 of an inch thick. In all honesty, in the end, it doesn't matter because we're going to semi-blend this bacon jam up anyways. I know I'm not cutting this right and probably am more likely to cut my finger the way I'm doing it, but guess what? I didn't cut my finger, and I haven't, knock on wood. So please don't leave comments about how terrible my knife skills are. I already know. So then you're just going to cut up like this, and then once you have them all chopped up, we're going to put it into that same pot we cooked our bacon in, because you don't want to lose the deliciousness of that bacon grease. So let's get to it. But first, we got to get our spiciness all cut up. So I'm going to take my jalapeno, cut it in half, obviously cut the stem off first, and just cut it whole. I'm not taking anything out of it except for the stem. And then I'm just going to slice this up. I'm trying to slice this so you can see me slicing it. So it's very uncomfortable how I'm slicing it right here. I was trying to be more camera friendly with this, and I decided it was more important not to cut my finger than show you exactly how to do it. So just like that, a little bit smaller slices. And what I do first is I put in the onions and cook those down. And after about maybe 10 minutes, then I add in the peppers. So chop up your jalapenos like that. And then on to the really spicy ones, the habaneros. All right, so I'm wearing gloves here because remember when the beginning of the pandemic when they said you need to avoid touching your face, and then after that all you thought about was touching your face? So it's kind of the same thing. I know you're not supposed to touch your face while handling spicy peppers, and so because of that, I know that eventually I'll touch my face. So if I have those gloves on, as soon as I'm done cutting them, I will take the gloves off, and then I can touch my face as much as I want and not have to worry about feeling like I got pepper sprayed. So the other thing too here is I have 4 habaneros that I'm using. Mine was a good spice level. I'm probably above average for tolerance for spice level, not way above average, but I'm above average. So if you don't like it super spicy, maybe throw 1 habanero in there and that's it. But for me, this was fantastic. It got your nose a little bit runny as you're eating it, but you could still taste when you were done, and that's the most important part. So just kind of experiment with it, but maybe start off with, if you're nervous about it, start off with 1 habanero or 2, or if you're confident, go with the 4 that I used, or do more. I don't know, use whatever you want. So there you go. That's my spiel on habaneros. Good day. Okay, so you're gonna use that used pot, put a little of that bacon grease right in there, put a little tab of butter, or is it a tab of butter? I don't know, whatever. Put your butter in there, and then you are going to put in your onions that you painstakingly and probably tearfully cut up. So then once those are all in, which can be a little tricky sometimes, you're going to add in some of your salt, and then you are going to add in a little bit of your fresh pepper. So after you put in your fresh pepper, you mix that all together. And this is the part that takes the longest, is cooking down these onions. You don't want to do it on high. I probably do it on like low, maybe lowish, medium, low, medium. I don't know, whatever that would be. And then you just got to keep an eye on it. Just keep stirring. This is probably about after 10 minutes. And at this point, I'm going to add in the habaneros and the jalapenos. And so once I put those in, I'm going to mix that all together, and then I'm just going to keep cooking these down. And that's going to release the sweetness from the onions and really infuse that spiciness into this jam. So there you go. Mix it all together. Overall, it kind of just depends on how hot you have it or where you want it. I'd say probably around 30 minutes of cooking these down total. So another 20 minutes after you put in your extra peppers. And then once that happens, it's going to look something like this. A little bit lighter. I guess not lighter, a little darker. Yeah, you're caramelizing these onions. So it's a little darker. Now we're going to throw in the chipotle pepper powder, and then we're going to put in our hot sauce. Hot sauce. I'm going to mix that all in as well. Eventually. Don't want to lose any of that Frank's. He worked real hard on making that hot sauce. All right, so while that's all cooking again, what I like to do is chop up this bacon. You don't need to be super hardcore about this. Just chop it up. Doesn't need to be perfect and uniform. Just chop it all up like that. I don't know what else to say about it. Just chop it up like that. I mean, if you want to make it finer, you can, but just kind of give it a rough chop. And then you're going to add some apple cider vinegar, and then you're going to put in your bacon, tocino. And then you're going to mix that all in together. And then once that's all mixed in together, you are then going to add in your sugar. And what I like to do too, so you mix in all your sugar, let it cook down a little bit more. And once it's cooked down, you want to give it a little taste test. So I'm putting this olive oil. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my immersion blender and kind of just blend this very roughly all together. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. I like it because it just really incorporates all of the ingredients together, and it's kind of easier to put onto. I like to serve this with like toasted baguettes with cheese on it, so it's easier to put onto those baguettes. Like I said, you don't have to do this. I have just found I enjoy the texture of it, and the ease of putting it on the baguettes. So now for my favorite part of the video. All right, now for my favorite part of the video, I get to eat the food. So this is easy to make. It takes a little bit of time getting the onions cooked down to where they need to be. But other than that, it's not a hard recipe to make at all. And the nice thing about it is you can put this on a bunch of different things. I like to put this on just bread, sandwiches, you can do it on hamburgers, there's a bunch of different things you can put this on, and it makes it super good, especially this spicy one. It's a little, let's just get to eating it. Let's just try it. Okay, here we go. So I am just putting this on the Asiago bread that we had a leftover loaf from this past weekend. But here we go. So, the nice thing about this is how delicious it is. And the other thing is, for me, this is like the perfect amount of spice. It kind of sneaks up on you, but it doesn't overpower you where you can't taste anything anymore. It just has a nice heat that lets you know it's there and that it's your friend. The first thing you get is the sweetness. You get the sweetness, you get the bacony part of it, and then you get that spiciness just starts to creep in. And if you wanted to make this like crazy spicy, you could add like hotter types of chilies. Habanero is probably about as hot as I'm gonna go, but you can get as creative as you want. There are plenty of insane peppers that you could put in this to make it just incredibly spicy. But I like to make it spicy enough where you can feel it, but not spicy enough where you don't want to eat it anymore. And this is a good place for that. My tolerance for spicy is probably, on average, probably higher than average. Maybe if you have a lower tolerance, lower the amount of habaneros that you put in it, or if you hate spicy at all, just go check out the original bacon jam recipe that's not spicy at all. But yeah, this is amazing. You gotta try it out, especially if you enjoy spicy foods. Also, this goes perfect on top of the smoked cream cheese. So check that recipe out and do both of them together, put them together, and you will have an amazing dip. So check that out. Don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check us out on Instagram at Party Food Hero. Go to our website, partyfoodhero.com. Super easy to navigate. Recipes are right there. As soon as you click on it, there's the recipe. Because I made it easy because recipe websites are the worst. Mine's super easy. Go check it out. Tons of different recipes. Check out all the other videos we have. We have a bunch of different videos. There's no reason you shouldn't be making amazing food for yourself, for your friends, for your family. Just go check them out. But there you go. I'm going to finish this. And remember, be the Party Food Hero. This is a little spicy. It's late at night. Shouldn't be doing this. Do one more bite because it is really good. It's delicious.
Be the Party Food Hero.
So good.